Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success, presents Heartfelt Leader Shifts. A show that provides shifts that leaders should make from the heart. The Heartfelt Leader Shifts with Dr. Tracy Hines Lashley begins now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Heartfelt Leader Shifts. Today is Veterans Day, but it is also launch day for Becoming the Shero. Yes! Oh my goodness. So today we are going to replay the episode that we did with 5 of the authors and also the visionary. And when I tell you, you're going to hear some juice and you're going to want to go out and get that ebook today. Trust me, you are not going to regret it. So what I want you to do before this starts, I want you to go out to bit.ly, bit.ly/ capital B, lowercase e, capital T, lowercase h-e, capital S, lowercase h-e-r-o. That is Be the Shero. So once you get this ebook, I want you to do one more thing. You can get the book, a signed copy of the book by me, and also the journal that goes along with this for $24.99 by going to booksbytracy.com. That's booksbytracie.com. And I hope you really enjoy this book because I know you will. It is really going to uplift you and inspire you to go out and become a Shero. But guess what? Don't just take my word for it. Purchase the book and buy one for a friend or two also. You will not regret it. So I hope you enjoy this episode and I will talk to you guys next week. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Shero Day. Bye.
I am Karen Howard. I am the CEO of and the COO of the nonprofit organization Boss Up Lead Hers Incorporated. I will be your host presenting VUL for Dr. Tracy Lashley's Heartfelt Leadership radio show on eVision Broadcasting, which is an international radio show. I am so excited to be introducing some beautiful and talented boss women and allowing them to tell and share their stories with you all. They are co-authors of Becoming the Shero. The book is scheduled to be released 11 November 2020 on Veterans Day.
The term Shero surfaced in the 1830s to honor women, regarded as heroes. Over 2 centuries later, it still describes women, of all cultures and backgrounds, who possess power. The power to stay true, the power to embrace pivots, the power to follow their paths, and the power to think beyond. Becoming the Shero highlights thought-provoking testimonials from women of different races, backgrounds, and upbringings. And together, they're showing the world the beauty of becoming and remaining a Shero. The amazing co-authors are Anita Blue, Moncheli Hendricks, La Tundra Lewis, and Marie Ziegler, Peggy Green, Ebony Walker. Cheryl Hall, Kim Myers, Latoya Harrington, Chirlana Walker Herman, Dr. Michelle Vaughn, Dr. Tracy Lashley, Dr. Chere Dupree, and Dr. Belinda Wilkerson. The foreword was written by Whitney Barkley. The visionary is Dr. Anissa Short. More information coming soon.
We are back. So I will be going around the room to allow each co-author to tell us a little bit about themselves. You'll be telling us your name. Also, tell us a little about what you do. So I'll be going to Dr. Tracy Lashley. Please.
My name is Dr. Tracy Hines Lashley. I do a lot of things, but one of the things, thanks to Dr. Short, I started writing books. So when I initially was approached with the, like, hey, I'm about to go do this anthology. I'm like, what's an anthology? I had no clue. So she explained a little bit about it. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I want to publish books anyway, so why not? Well, at that time, that was my first published book. I am currently working on book 7, and I started in May. So that is one of the things that I do. And I also started an international radio show for business owners around the world. We are in 140 countries right now. So I started that 2 months ago. And then with Boss Up Leaders Incorporated, we have another international radio show where we empower women around the world. So that's just a little bit what I do.
All right. Thank you for sharing. That is awesome. So we're going to move on to Dr. Anissa Short. Please tell us a little
Hey,
bit.
great evening, great afternoon, great morning. I'm not sure what time of the day it is. It's been that kind of day. But thanks so much, Dr. Tracy, and you too as well, Karen, for this opportunity. As stated already, my name is Anissa Short. I consider myself the work from home CEO, is that I'm an advocate for the home-based entrepreneur, and I do that several different ways. First and foremost, I'm a leader in the direct sales industry and have been for several years, where I work to mentor other women on how to create successful businesses within the walls of their home. But in addition to that, through my books, workshops, and things of that nature that I facilitate, I serve as an extension to other people who have embraced the home-based business industry. I'd really desire to see women particularly create success and improve the quality of their lives through their chosen vehicle. Of course, I feel like I have the best vehicle there is in the nation, but I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to go there with anyone. But just know that success in business is what I desire to see everyone create in whatever vehicle they choose to embrace. I want to be a catalyst to creating success with them by either serving as their encourager and their cheerleader, by educating them with the things that I've learned in life, and then, of course, to collaborate with them to help so everybody can create a win. So that's a little bit about me, other than being my husband's awesome wife. That's about it.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Dr. Belinda Jays Williams.
Wilkerson. Yes. Hi. Thank you so much for this. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm definitely thrilled that Anissa put all of this together. So I'm Dr. Belinda Wilkerson, and what I do is I help families eliminate random acts of college planning. And I do this by working with students in grades 9 through 12 on the whole college admission process. And one of the reasons I got into this work, I'm a career educator, so I've been a high school teacher, a middle school teacher, counselor educator. But in 8th grade, my school counselor told me that my people didn't go to college. And I didn't ever want another student to have someone be the gatekeeper to their dreams. I'm also the college supervisor for 19 school counseling interns at Providence College. So that's one of my newest things. And I'm also the college counselor for a Montessori school up in Raleigh. So I wear many hats, but they're all in the educational field.
Right. We're going to go to Minister Short.
The afternoon time frame. Sometime I don't know which way I'm going, coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, but good afternoon. My name is Minister Kim Myers, and what I'm excited about and what I'm called to do is to bless the lives of women and men. I'm called to be a breakthrough coach, which I do through not only through my business of being an entrepreneur for over 21 years. I'm excited about this. Is the first book. I am, like you, Dr. Tracy, I'm working on the second and the third right now. And I thank Anissa for that. She has opened the door and got us writing. Not only that, I am so excited that I have my own coaching business where I coach women through breakthrough situations so that they can believe that they were created to be more than enough and they will always be enough, so that they can live the promise and the privileged life that God has planned for them. And so I'm excited about that as well. Most of all, I'm just excited about life in itself. I'm excited that I have raised my children and they are grown and gone. Can you get excited? And I am living my life. Can you get excited? As empty nesters. Can y'all get excited to see that? That is what I'm so excited about, that we are living a life of prophecy that God has given us. And not only are we living it, we're living it unapologetically. Yes. And so I'm so excited about that. And now the most important thing that I'm looking forward to is launching my Breakthrough Coach Through Business, which is about to come out soon. They are putting the final touches on it. And so I am just super duper excited. And not only that, I'm also excited about not only helping them to break through, but helping them to be the conglomerate that they want to be in their business. So I'm excited. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, wow. Wow. Amen. All right. And we're going to go on to Jelana Walker.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Jelana Walker Herman. I am considered your purpose strategist. I'm all about purpose. So I help kingdom entrepreneurs and kingdom leaders take their purpose into the marketplace. And so I'm really big on making sure that they have the greatest influence. And the way I help them have the greatest influence, I help them decide which vehicle of media to use to dominate in the media area into education, religion, business, family, arts, and entertainment, and government. And so those are the areas of influence of our society. And my job is to help kingdom leaders, kingdom entrepreneurs to dominate in those particular areas. And so one of the ways that we do that, I assist them and I take them on a journey of influence, which includes publishing books, speaking engagements, TV shows, movies, radio, and also documentaries. And so we are very busy over here. But so I am married to a wonderful husband, Patrick Herman, and I have a daughter and 6 additional bonus kids as well. So I'm very busy. Yes.
Yes.
Busy. Law. Okay.
Wow.
So we're going to go on to Mrs. Michelle Van.
Hello, I'm Dr. Michelle Van. I'm here in the middle of the United States. My husband and I have been married for almost 30 years, so I am right there with him. The fact that we have those grown that are grown gone, I appreciate that. We do ministry. My husband and I ministry at a church, and also personally, I am an educator. I am an author. I am a speaker. I come coaching where I help women develop their confidence as they build their health. So when we become healthy, wealthy, and wise, then we are more able to help. So my whole thing is I want to die. So I want to give out every little thing that I have to give any woman, whether they're my age, whether they're younger. I want to be able to that vessel that pour into somebody else's cup so that they can be able to pour in. So that's my name is Michelle Van. What I do here in Wichita.
Wow. All you guys are so interesting, and I cannot wait for you guys to share your story. I'm just so excited because I want to hear your story. I may gain, and I know I will gain some insight and some education along my journey. So I will be listening and taking notes, and I know everybody else would be. So with that being said, we're going to take a little commercial break and be right back.
Join Dr. B of Steps to the Future on Monday evenings on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. ET for college conversations. Focusing on college knowledge or career professionals and a featured book, Steps to the Future encourages you to log on and learn with Dr. B. Missed an episode? Catch the replay on YouTube at bit.ly/stepscc. At Steps to the Future, we help families eliminate random acts of college planning. Breakfast with the Lord Ministry Mission Statement. John 21:12, NKJV. Jesus said to them, "Come and eat breakfast." Yet none of the disciples dared ask him, "Who are you?" knowing that it was the Lord. Breakfast with the Lord is doing God's work in a miraculous, yet unconventional way. Our ministry created 2 opportunities daily as a prayer conference call, inviting men and women from around the world to dial in and bear witness to the miracles and unique power of God in real time. Psalm 63:1, NKJV. O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. We break the fast of each night with a morning meal to nourish and replenish our physical bodies. Yet, as children of God, we must feed our spiritual souls as well. As we commune together at this daily meal, drawing closer to the presence and knowledge of God, we receive His blessings through powerful testimonies, prayers, and praises each day. But more importantly, it is our constant prayer that God use us to bless the lives of others. Souls will be brought to salvation, minds will be renewed and elevated, bodies will be healed and restored, all as God enriches and transforms our lives for the greater.
And we are back. And for my audience, I am, like I said before, I am so happy and blessed to be allowing these boss women to share their stories. So I'm also going to go around the room again and to give you a little more about these ladies. So we're going to go a little more in depth with what they bring to this book, Becoming the Shero. So with Dr. Tracy Lashley, Becoming the Shero, this book, what is your chapter? And tell us a little more about it.
Thank you. The title of my chapter was Silent Breakthrough, from Welfare to Wealth. And I initially was not going to write on that because I was not ready to tell my story. But I believe it's something that God said, you need to just get out there and just tell it. Just tell the world, because, I tell people sometimes about the fact that I was on welfare and they look at me like, what? But thank God I don't look like what I've gone through, because I can tell you I have been through some things, and it's actually in the book to where I even have a place to lay my head some nights, couldn't feed my children. It was pretty bad. So I spilled my guts a little bit. I actually had to cut my chapter quite a bit, but you got a little bit of Tracy in that book.
All right.
I'll tear it up. I just can't. But yeah, it's
silent breakthrough. That is a silent breakthrough. Okay. So we're going to go to Dr. Short. What is your chapter? And tell us a little more about it.
Actually, Karen, I don't have an actual chapter. I didn't write a chapter of the book. However, I have served as the facilitator of the entire project. I am responsible for the introduction of the book and its importance. And I took everybody's chapter and I'm divided it up into subcategories, so to say. One of the things is in the definition of when you think about who a Shero is, people oftentimes will think about, the fictional character we saw at the movies like Wonder Woman and things of that nature. Someone who was maybe a Marvel, had some special powers and things of that nature. The book itself, the intention of it is for everyone that participated either shared a nugget. And the message that we hope to convey is that everybody either is a Shero or becoming a Shero or do the journey of life became a Shero in the eyes of others. Sometimes we don't see ourselves in that light, but other people see us in that light. So we become a Shero because of the fact that we made the pivot when it came time to pivot. Because we embraced the pivot. We become a Shero when we made a decision to actually follow the path that was set before us. We became a Shero when we made a conscious decision to shift in our thinking. We become a Shero as a result of not forgetting those nuggets that were left behind us, remembering the why behind everything that we do. And so all of the authors that are participants in this project fall in one of those categories. So yes, I am very much a contributing factor to the project. I did not write a chapter in and of itself, but I am the person who is working diligently to pull it all together so that when the reader obtains the book, they can follow the path and then maybe even see themselves in the pages of that book and or someone else that's instrumental in their lives over the years. Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. So that's awesome. And a lot of people, like I said, they some of them don't think like that, to help other women share their stories, to bring, those issues or their struggles to the forefront to help other women. So that's a big plus. And I really, commend you for that. So Dr. Belinda Wilkerson, What is your
So my chapter is called Embracing the Pivot. And in that chapter, I talk about the transition that I made in moving from Rhode Island to North Carolina. Now, I've lived in Rhode Island all my life, moved here to North Carolina about 10 years ago because my husband is originally from here. And, you know, as a dutiful wife, you know, you go where your husband wants to go sometimes, even though it took me a year and a half after he moved here for me to follow, because my whole life and career was in Rhode Island. And I moved here thinking, okay, this is a transition. I'll just find a job working at a college, no problem. I had worked since I was, 11, 12 years old, moved here, could not get a job. No one would hire me in education. Didn't matter that, you know, didn't matter what letters were after my name. Nobody would hire me. In addition to that, it was the first time I lived away from my children. So my kids are grown and flown now because I moved here. But they had lived with us, and I missed them terribly. It was the first time I had been away from friends. It was the first time I had not been associated with the school. It was the first time I didn't have a job since I was 11. So moving here, I really had to figure out who I was, what I was going to do, how I was going to live. But before that, I really had to give myself, and I didn't realize this was happening at the time, but I had to give myself permission to grieve the life that I had lost. You know, I thought I was just going to jump right in and pick up where I left off, and it wasn't that easy at all. So the only people I knew here were my husband's immediate family, but I was always someone who was out and about and involved in our community and involved in professional associations, and I moved here and all of that ended. All of that ended. And like I said, you know, couldn't get hired. So that's when I decided, okay, this might be my opportunity to start my own business. And that's when I started Steps to the Future. So even though I started it, at first my heart wasn't in it 100%, because in my head, I was going back to Rhode Island. I was not staying here. I was not going to stay here. But I did. And over time, I started recognizing what I had to give to this community. And I do remember one of my church members saying to me, God has a plan for you. You just haven't bought into it yet. And I remember saying, oh, Deborah, you know, I don't know what his plan is, but I'm not for it right now. You know, so we used to have those conversations. And as time went on, I started finding my footing here. But I also realized what a transition this was. Now, most time when people are making transitions, you know, they're doing it at an earlier age. I was in my mid-50s. And you think about how women usually meet other women. It's either through your job or through some work that you're doing with your kids or through something like that. I had none of that. So that female friendship wasn't there. You know, my poor best friend back home, I mean, I was on the phone like just waiting for her to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning so I could call her and have a conversation, and then we'd be on the phone for hours and what have you. But it was a complete transition for me, like really trying to figure out who I was, what my place was in this community, and deciding who I was going to be. And, you know, there were times there were many times I wanted to give up. There were many times that I'm like, I can't do this. But then I thought of my grandmother, who was a sharecropper and who took care of her family after my grandfather died. I think of how she moved her family from Mississippi to Illinois during the Great Migration and made a way out of no way. So I said, if my grandmother could do what she did, then who am I to give up and not keep it moving? So my story is about embracing that pivot, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Wow. Journey. Oh, and I wrote the book. You guys are some awesome women. Okay, Mrs. Minister Myers, what is your chapter in the book? And tell us a little bit about it.
My chapter is titled Grace Be Unto You, or Grace Be With You. And it really is surrounding around my mother. And it's really hard for me to talk about it, so just bear with me. My mother's name was Grace. And when I think about my mother, I think about the grace of God. That the grace of God has given us what we didn't really deserve. And how God has always been there for me. And even during the time when my mother was tragically taken off this earth, I had to remember that grace was always with me. I had to remember that grace gave me love. Grace coddled and rocked me. Grace taught me everything that I know. Grace gave me everything that I needed. And I can get through this. And I thought it was just fitting.
Yes. Amen.
That the first thing that I ever write will be for grace. When I wanted to give up, I thought about grace. When I didn't have anybody there, I knew that grace was looking down on me.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And so grace gave me what God gave me. And that was love. And so I wanted to dedicate that to my mother. And her name was Grace.
Amen. Amen. All right. All right.
Now we all messed up. Everybody trying to hold their composure. Thank you, Kim.
I know. I'm like,
oh, Lord, I'm just glad I got my tissues. I love you, Kim. Love you, Kim.
Trying to get my glasses adjusted. I'm trying to host. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Mrs. Walker.
Yes. So my chapter is amazing that Minister Myers was talking about Grace, about her mother, because my chapter was about staying connected. I really wanted people to see if they were able to stay connected with our Creator. That's where all the answer lies. And so my story kind of took a form of like the journey of entrepreneurship for me so far. And a lot of tragedy happened during this journey. My mother passed away, experiencing anxiety, depression, wondering why I was still trying to force myself to do business. And, at the end of the day, I wasn't allowing myself grace. So that was some of the things that I was mentioning in my book. Also, it was some other key components that I mentioned is staying connected and identifying a tribe. That was very essential on my journey, as well as understanding that, yes, as entrepreneurial women and also women in ministry, we're called to a tribe, right? But we also have to have a tribe of wisdom. And so I truly believe that that was some of the things that I talk about, is that once I got connected to my tribe, you guys, that's when it was like a puzzle piece was like entered in, and it's like, okay, I'm ready for the mission now. It's like, when the astronauts, NASA gets suited up. And so that's what happened when I got connected to my tribe. So that, the story talks about that. It also talks about, oh my gosh, disobedience. When I did walk with God, I heard God, and it was some things I was disobedient with. And one of those things that I was disobedient with is that not allowing to see what others are doing that may be resembling what I'm supposed to be doing. And that made me stop. And just because I saw somebody else doing something similar, I said, oh no, I'm supposed to be doing something different. Crazy, right? Because think about medical doctors, right? Think about dentists. Is it only one dentist in the whole world? Mm-hmm. So I know. It was crazy, but the journey was, the journey in the book is about staying connected, how you get those revelations so you can move forward. That's what it boils down to. So I'm very excited for the readers to, definitely take part of that.
Wow. All right. So we're going to go to Mrs. Van. So tell us your chapter in the book and a little about it.
So my chapter is called Open Doors. And one of the things that we really began to see is that Ecclesiastes tells us that every time there is a season for everything. And so one of the things that happens kind of in our lives is that we get so wrapped up in a particular season that we don't realize that there's a transition happening. So I've heard several times that God transitioned from one place to the other. So I believe that my life was and is a series of seasons that have happened and transitions that have come about. So I kind of share some of my background, kind of how I got started, kind of how my husband and I began to get into business. And really that the whole idea that as we go through seasons, as we go through the changes in our lives, God opens doors for us in ways that sometimes we don't even understand. And if we're not obedient, if we're not moving in the plan of God, if we're not willing and open and ready to what He has, we can miss it. So I kind of tell one of the biggest pivots in my particular life. I taught for almost 20 years in public school, and right after Christmas, come back break, I had my students doing vision boards. They're 8th graders. I'm telling them 4 years, you're going to be an adult. All these things are going to happen. I want you to start thinking about, when you start really thinking about what you want to do. And a kid who never, participated, was a smart kid, but he slept a lot. This was first hour. He wakes up and he says, "But Miss, what you going to do with your life?" What, little boy? And but that started me on a journey. It shook me in a way that I think no other conversation ever shaken. I wish I remember his name so that I could find him now and be like, you know what? You really helped me. I'll have to tell you that. But it was that journey that began for me to understand that God opens doors that He wants to open. He closes the doors that He wants to close. And when I'm obedient and willing to hear that, I will eat the good of the Lord.
Wow. Yes. Amen. Amen. So I am so excited to be hearing you guys hear more about your journeys in this book. So right now, we're going to take another commercial break and be right back.
Meet Me at the Marketplace with Jurlana. The show is designed to help Christian Kingdom entrepreneurs and kingdom leaders to bring their purpose into the marketplace. It is designed for you to network, get resources, and hear other kingdom entrepreneurs and leaders' success stories. Facebook location is Meet Me at the Marketplace. Dr. Anissa Short, also known as the Work From Home CEO, proclaims to be an advocate for the home-based entrepreneur. As a best-selling author, workshop presenter, and podcast host, she uses her platforms to offer information vital to the success of other entrepreneurs in the home-based business industry. As an entrepreneur herself, she is a leader in a top direct sales company and has built an organization of clients and business partners represented in several states. She has coordinated and facilitated workshops and retreats that have served to educate, encourage, and empower others in business, and has been noted as an influencer that understands the value of building strong collaborative relationships. As an independent contractor, Anissa has partnered with local community colleges, publishing and marketing companies, and training think tanks to organize, facilitate, and host events that support the success of current and aspiring entrepreneurs. For more information regarding her work and mission, feel free to contact her directly on Facebook at WFHCEO or online at www.workfromhomeceo.biz.
We are back, and we are interviewing the co-authors of the book, Becoming the Shero. So what attracted you to the book? Once Miss Anissa Short, Dr. Short, came you guys, introduced you to this book, this great idea, or this like something that can bring light to somebody's situation and help them through, their journey by you guys telling your stories. What attracted you to this book? we're going to go with Mrs. Van.
So sometimes in life, you meet people and they spark. I've written 2 books prior to this. When I went through my transition, I wrote 2 books. That was kind of how I processed through that journey. But the idea of being able to do an anthology, be able to pull women together. You know, in our society, a lot of times we say that women can't get along. But I think when we do projects like this, we prove that women can get along, that women can do things, that we do things effectively, that we can do powerfully. And so when Anissa kind of put out and said, hey, I'm looking for some authors, I saw it as an opportunity to, one, be able to pull together several women of us to be able to pull together and do a project. But I also saw it as another way for us to be able to catalyze and to be able to show that, especially Black women, we have powerful, beautiful stories. And when we can pull all those together, now I have a circle of women that I never knew before. But someone was saying earlier about getting your tribe. I think that, over time, because we're doing interviews together, we're doing things together, we have the ability to be able to become a tribe for each other. And so to me, I think that's the power.
Yes. Okay. Minister Myers, what attracted you to the book?
What attracted me to the book is the integrity of Dr. Anissa Short. I've known her for a while, and she only presents excellence. And so when I was contacted about the book, it was just a no-brainer. I wanted to be wherever she was. I was like, what is this for real? And not only that, it had came to me, and I think I was like Dr. Tracy, I was looking for a platform to tell the story. And I just didn't know really what platform I wanted to tell the story on, because God had been speaking to me about being transparent to help others. Like Sister Van said just a few minutes ago, we have to come together and stand for one thing. And I love the fact that Anissa stands for excellence. And I knew that when she asked me, that made me a part of her excellent tribe. So I was like, oh, yes, this is going to happen. I was initially scared because, when you don't know what you're walking into, but I just stood on the platform because I know Anissa. And when you know somebody and you know what they stand for, then they're bringing in the best. And I love the ladies that I have became connected with, and some I've gotten a little bit closer than others. But I know, like Sister Van said, we are going to eventually be very connected as life continues to take us in so many different places. But guess what? These ladies will always be my girlfriends, and I'm so excited about that.
Wow. Okay. So Dr. Wilkerson.
Well, just like everyone said previously, when you're connected with Anissa, it's going to be good. And having watched Anissa actually since the time I moved here and see how she moved about the community, how she brought people together, how she was always a light when she entered a room, I said, okay, I trust her. And for me, that was huge, because doing this is definitely stepping out of my comfort zone, but I trusted in Anissa. So that helped a lot. And then one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou is that there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. And I think we all have stories to tell, but getting them out and getting them out in the proper format and getting them out in a safe space is really important. And that's one of the things that Anissa provided for us. And her invitation came at the right time. It really came at the right time, because it allowed me to sit back and process the last 10 years. Because it was funny. It was a whole decade. And I said, wow, I have been here a decade. What does that mean? How have I evolved since then? So this was an opportunity to start thinking about how to tell that story. And for me, I've been writing a little bit every day because somebody goes, well, what's the rest of the story? I said, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. But yeah, it was an opportunity to tell that story that had been inside of me.
Oh, wow. Okay, Miss Walker.
It's definitely echoing all these women here because look, anything that Nissa does, okay, the echo is excellency. And so when I saw that post, I was like, I'm going to be a part of this because of who Anissa is, first of all. And then also I had just got some the revelation is like the key, right? So I just got some revelation about stop being a bystander. Stop, being on the sidelines. Because I'm watching there, oh, look at that, look where, and not moving forward and what I'm supposed to be doing. And so when the opportunity came, I was like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and move forward. Let me just not talk about it. Let me be about it. So I'm excited. And I mean, it wasn't one of those things that you question. I mean, I have been on I wrote a book before. My first book was Follow Your Breadcrumbs, about discovering your purpose. But is this, everybody's not on the same level. So I just knew for a fact, I wasn't even worried. It's not like, oh my gosh, is this going to come right because of who and this? No, I was like, oh, and this got it. We good. So we already know we're going in the right direction. If she don't know it, she's going to find out. Okay. So, it's one of those things. So it's really good working with those type of women and really being surrounded. Now we have other women because we definitely, I think we represent that excellency as well. And so now we have other women that's representing that. So yes, I'm very excited to be part of this project.
Wow. Okay, Miss Dr. Lashley.
Wow. I will say that I was one of those women who are like, Black women can't work together. They, women, period, can't work together. There ain't no way I'm doing anything like this. And I was like, and this would always be, I had met her twice prior to this. But the time I met her, the first time I met her, I was at an event and I had a table. I didn't know what I was doing. I said, Anissa, I don't know what to do. You're the queen of events. So can you help me? She said, when is it? So I told her when it was. And she said, I'll go with you. I said, what? Mind you, we didn't know what you're going to look like outside of social media. So I'm standing by my car and see her driving around. And she's like, you Tracy? I said, you Anissa? And that was the first time we had ever met. But that right there showed me, okay, yeah, there is hope. And that also stemmed me to start a nonprofit for women. So I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to show the world that women can get together. So ever since then, I have been like all about women. Everything I do now, I try and bring women together. So thank you, Anissa. Thank you for what you did for me.
Yes,
and doing it for the rest of us.
All right, Miss Dr. Short, let's hear from you.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that your checks are in the mail. They will be in. Listen, to hear everybody say that I'm the common denominator in this project is like it just baffles my mind, honestly, because when the idea came to me to do an anthology and the name of the book will be Becoming the Shero, I did not know who would be a part of the event of the book. I really didn't. I knew that there were one or two people that I wanted to extend and actually invite. Dr. B was one because I've seen her work in the community. I think I actually shared it with Jelana, but I didn't really know. I didn't have all the faces. I just put out like an all call on Facebook and people started calling me. That there were some people I ignored. Let's be clear. I just humbly just act like I didn't see the post, but because I knew I wanted the book to convey a message. And I knew that the people that I wanted to have a part of it, I wanted them to be authentic, or who I believe to be authentic. It wasn't about whether they were very articulate or had a vast vocabulary. I wanted the book to be compiled of everyday women in various occupations. And little did I know that I would have someone from Oregon, my girlfriend Kim, and I have been knowing each other for a while. And then, and then someone from the Virgin. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. We got the West Coast, we got the East Coast, we got the Memphis Mid-South, Mississippi, whatever that is. I guess Kansas is considered Midwest, isn't it? So we got almost every geographical region covered. And so that gave a lot of variety, backgrounds, differing backgrounds. I mean, it's a very humbling experience. I'm excited about it because everybody brings their own flavor to the table. No one story is just alike. And even though some stories may kind of mirror each other in messaging, the content is so different. And I really believe that because we have so much variety and so many different backgrounds and so many different personalities mixed into this big bowl of soup, that everybody will be able to see themselves in some capacity. Yeah. So I'm thankful that they said yes, I really am. I couldn't do it by myself, and it would not have been what it is if I had attempted to do so. So, I can't take any credit for it. I mean, this is it. It's not all about me. It's everybody together that making it happen.
I commend you guys. It's like I try to tell my people, it's like robbing people of a breakthrough when you try to coddle your stories, and it's so important to share, because your strengths, that was one time your weakness, could help other women, especially in our community with Black women. So I really commend you guys for uniting and sharing your stories and journeys. So with that being said, we're going to take another break.
Michelle Van is a confidence coach, founder, and CEO of Fantastic Solutions. Michelle helps women achieve a healthy balance in their lives by dissolving the mindset issues that keep them stuck. She is also the founder Sisters Can We Talk, a nonprofit that uses a Healthy Me initiative to provide resources for women to overcome the social determinants of health. Michelle is the author of 2 books, Stop the Merry-Go-Round, I Want to Get Off and Help Along the Journey, and a co-author of the anthologies Daily Dose of Declarations and Becoming a Shero. She is currently creating a Clutching My Pearls series that will launch in the winter. Michelle is a mother, a pastor's wife, an educator, and a public speaker. You can find Dr. Van at www.vantastic.com. I remember a time when I thought that leadership was taking charge and only a position. Sometimes as leaders, we feel that we must boss people around. Or we simply believe that we must be in a position of authority to be a leader. Have you ever felt like either of these? Are you a person who wants to lead better or in a leadership position and want to grow your team? If this is you, reach out to the Leaders Innovative Growth Solutions LLC today. Visit our website at theligsllc.com.
The term Shero surfaced in the 1830s to honor women, regarded as heroes. Over 2 centuries later, it still describes women, of all cultures and backgrounds, who possess power. The power to stay true, the power to embrace pivots, the power to follow their paths, and the power to think beyond. Becoming the Shero highlights thought-provoking testimonials from women of different races, backgrounds, and upbringings. And together, they're showing the world the beauty of becoming and remaining a Shero. The amazing co-authors are Anita Blue, Moncheli Hendricks, La Tundra Lewis, and Marie Ziegler, Peggy Green, Ebony Walker. Cheryl Hall, Kim Myers, Latoya Harrington, Carolina Walker Herman, Dr. Michelle Vaughn, Dr. Tracy Lashley, Dr. Chere Dupree, and Dr. Belinda Wilkerson. The foreword was written by Whitney Barkley. The visionary is Dr. Anissa Short. More information coming soon.
Yes, we are back with the co-authors of Becoming the Shero. So, what are some hidden gems in your chapter? Let's go with Mrs. Wilkerson.
I think one of the overall hidden gems in my chapter is that, about stepping out on faith. We don't always see the whole staircase, but when you step on faith, you come through. You come through, and it's believing in that even when you don't see it. We always talk about that light at the end of the tunnel. It's there. You just have to remember the lessons of those that came before you, your immediate ancestors, your past ancestors. You know, I think about the time that we're in now when we're trying to encourage people to go out and vote. And I tell people not to take your vote is to disrespect those ancestors that came before us. So for me not to continue moving along, that would be disrespecting my ancestors. So I think that that's something that was really important to me that came out of there. And that, you know what, we're stronger than we think we are. You know, we can do anything we put our minds to. It may not look the way you thought it was going to look, but it eventually comes out, the outcome is the way you want it to be, the way you thought it was going to be. So where you thought there was a straight path, that path might look like this, but you get there.
Yes, ma'am. Minister, what are some hidden gems in your chapter?
Chapter for me is just really encouraging women that they can get over their difficult areas in life, whether it's death, whether it's feeling not enough, or whether you're feeling like you don't have the support that you thought was going to be there. It's still not a place where you should stop believing in who you are. I myself thought I was an imposter in my own business for a while. Okay. But I had to realize that I am who I am. God has given me what he's given me, and I am more than enough. We just have to be in a place where we keep believing, keep trusting, and know that one day we will get there. And so I just wanted to encourage women, and not only women, you know, anyone who reads the book, to understand how you can become a Shero. And it's not just an overnight success. You're going to go through trials and tribulations in life, but that's what makes you stronger. And I thank God when I read over the chapter, I couldn't even believe some of the stuff that I was writing. And I was like, wow, was this me that got over this? Because when you going through, honey, you don't see you getting through until you actually get over there. And so I just thank God that I got through. Now I'm able to share with others on many different platforms that you can get through, but you just got to hold on.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Lashley.
Wow. I think one of the gems you were learning there is the fact that, okay, I was on welfare and not having any money to, you know, making six figures at a full-time job. I still wasn't happy. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. Yes, I'm still there for the time being, but I also have started other companies. So one thing I learned was to start chasing my purpose and stop chasing the paper. And I walked through a little bit of that.
Okay. I see Miss Walker is like excited, so I'm going to go to her. Miss Walker.
Look, anything about purpose. When I hear people talk about chasing purpose, I'm like, ah! But I'm sorry, I get really excited about that. But what I would say the hidden gems, I mean, in my chapter, it talks about, you know, the lifestyle entrepreneurship. It talks about it's a calling. Okay. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, because guess what? You won't last. Because it's a calling and it's a faith walk. Another thing that's really that's listed out, which I'm so excited about, is that I have a list of revelations that God was telling me about business. So it's actually listed out in the chapter. So I know for a fact, I think it's Romans 2:11, that God does not show favoritism. So that means that word, when it comes to business, because there were definitely practical things that anyone can use, especially faith-based individuals can use. And so I know that word is for them as well. So those are some of those gems that's in the chapter.
All right, Mrs. Van, let's go to you.
So I would say that as I think about my chapter and I think about, you know, where I was, where I'm going, it kind of wraps in just in the lyrics of this song. I look back over my life and I see all the things God's done for me, been through dangers, heartache, and trouble. I thank the Lord He rescued me. And now I can say He brought me all the way. So there are some things, when I start to look back at what happened, every mountain that He brought me over, every situation that He protected me from, that I didn't have to be protected from, but because of the grace of God, because He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, when I didn't trust myself, when I didn't believe in myself, He still saw fit to put His hand on me and open doors that I had no way of opening for myself. And so I really, as people read, I want them to just know that God can open doors that no man can shut, and He can close doors that no man can open.
So, Dr. Short, let's go to you.
My I guess the number one objective I wanted for this book is to serve as an inspirational book of stories. I wanted the reader to be able to see themselves, and then to not only possibly see themselves, but to reflect upon who is that possible Shero in their life. A lot of times we have this grandiose view of people, and we say, wow, she's got it going on. She's, she got all her I's dotted and her T's crossed, and, she wear the best of everything, but they don't know the stupid stuff and the crazy stuff, the good, bad, and the ugly behind the scenes. And a lot of times we don't even want to tell that part because we want people to see us in the light of who we are now. When in actuality, everything that you experience with the right attitude is what helped you to become who you are right now. And that's what becoming a Shero is all about. So I believe that the book is full of gems. Of course, I didn't write any one particular chapter, but since I was the mastermind behind this project, I will just take credit. I will take credit for all the gems. But, I wanted women in all walks of life, whether they were in their seasoned years and, in the retirement time, they can look on it and smile and be proud of the younger generation coming up behind them, evolving into who they are as women. But I also wanted the stories to be practical enough so that if you have a little 20-something-year-old who think they know it all, and they don't know anything because they hadn't even lived life yet, to be able to take it and maybe even use it as a resource or serve as a source of encouragement for them. So when they do hit hard times, they could say, oh, I remember that story in that book. And if that lady was able to press through this situation, I can too. So when you think about gems, that's what I wanted. And I knew that everybody could bring something to the table. And so, yes, it is full of gems. They weren't all my personal stories, but I take credit for them because I was the facilitator of the project. So I'm just thankful that, it's conveying of the message that need to be, it's conveying the message or messages that need to be conveyed to whomever may read it.
Wow. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because I know, Dr. Short, I know you're the visionary of this book. And I know you feel at this time your mission has been accomplished.
I can't deny that. I mean, when the idea came, I got excited about it. Like I said before, I didn't know who would be a participant, but I just Can you all hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay. So I'm excited. I am. I'm excited for what has already transpired. I'll be excited when all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed because we're finishing up. I'm excited about the campaign. I'm excited to be able to work with all of the women in another capacity because, as they said, I am the common denominator. I know all of the authors in one way or the other, but they are meeting each other. So to see everybody be able to come together and mesh well was another big plus. So there's so many positives to this project that I can't even convey with words, but I'm thankful. So yes, it has done what I hoped it would do and then some.
Yes, ma'am. Amen. So as we come to a close, I hate, leaving you guys leaving me because you guys are sharing so much, to everybody and to me. And I know we taking notes because I know I am. how, and I know you guys are a Shero. I feel it, and from your stories, I can tell you are a Shero. But in your own eyes, coming to a close, how would you help other women become Sheros? I'm going to go with Dr. Wilkerson.
So one of the ways I think that we could all help women become Sheros is by offering yourself up as a mentor. It's not often that we have the opportunity to pass something along to someone else. So when someone comes to you and they need just maybe an ear, maybe they just need someone to help them walk through something, I think it's important that we do that. I do a lot of mentoring with other women who are coming into the college and career counseling business. So I'm actually an official mentor with our organization. And they said to me the other day, gee, a lot of people want you for a mentor. You need to go on the site and tell them that, you can't take anymore. I said, no, I can't take anymore. I'm done. But I think it's important that we do that we have those conversations, because people think that you just wake up one day and this is who you are. They need to know the backstory.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Minister Myers, do you have any?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Well, one of the ways that I am currently helping women to live and walk in their passion is just what Dr. Wilkerson said. Is just encourage them to know that there is no judgment. A lot of women feel like they're going to be judged for what they say or what they do or the ideals that they have. And I want to be the one to encourage them that every ideal that they have is a good ideal because it was given to you. And I think that is where I am most helpful, is just helping them to get their ideals out on paper. And I like to say it's the conglomerate in them. And I want to bring that Shero out of her that maybe have just been hidden behind someone telling them what they not or what they were not going to be. So just helping them to reassure themselves that their ideal, like Sister Walker said, that it's just for them and God gave it to them and it's going to be the best them that they can actually be. And I tell them all the time, we're going to wake up today the best version of ourselves, and tomorrow we're going to be even better.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Van.
So I would say two things. First, I think it's important for us to make sure that we just encourage each other. So, there are women every day that are struggling. You see this woman and she's juggling her baby, trying to buy groceries. Sometimes it's just a matter of us stopping and saying, "Sis, I see you, and you are doing a fabulous job. I know you're struggling right now. I know it feels, overwhelming, but I see you." And sometimes that is one of the biggest we as women don't see each other, walk past each other, don't talk to each other, we don't acknowledge each other. And so I think that's the first. And then I think the next thing is really just, for me as a confidence coach, one of the things I'm kind of ironic, God called me to coach women confidence because for a long time I didn't have it. And so I think that becomes our other. How do we lift the esteem of other women? How do we begin to incorporate in them that they are wealthy, they're worthy of love, they are worthy to move to the next step. So it's really just building that confidence in that other woman. So I think if we can do those two things, if we can, just speak to each other and encourage each other as we see each other on the street, the world, and we build each other's confidence, I think we can make sure.
Ashley.
So it is important to coach, mentor, and sponsor other women, but I believe giving them that power of putting them in a room together, forming connections. Sometimes if we're in a room with another woman and we're like, oh, and you can help that woman, you may have known you help. And when they tell you that you're a big help to them, it's like, whoa, man, I am enough. Man, I have enough that people want. that people need me. And that right there just encourages them to keep moving and keep going and keep growing.
All right, as we come to a close, the last remarks, Dr. Short.
Well, if you look at the word Shero in its truest definition, it's defined as a woman who's known for her courage, her noble qualities, and her outstanding achievements. And so if I am to be a facilitator or a catalyst to helping other women truly understand that they too can be a Shero, I first have to be transparent as an individual and not hide behind a mask that I've got it all together, but just be truly authentic myself in my relationships with others. And then even in my relationships with others and fostering relationships with other people, I have to be their biggest cheerleader. I have to be there and be honest, and not just say things because they want me to say it, but just either serve to build them up or be quiet, one or the other, you know what I'm saying? And if they ask me for assistance or if they contact me for advice, to be honest with them. So I have to work from a place of honesty, a place of integrity. I have to work from a place of transparency. And then I think about the words of Mary Ann Williamson, who makes reference to the fact that we are all children of God who are created to shine. So I do my world a disservice if I choose not to shine in the gifts and the strengths that I have. So that's me being a Shero, I guess, of becoming a Shero within myself, so that I can give other people permission to do the same. And so when they reach out to me and I see another sister, a person who all of us have the capability of being that, but I can't really convince them of that if I'm not true to who I am myself. So I think that's where I start as an individual. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
All right. Okay. I am so happy. And you guys, so as we come to a close, I really want to thank you guys for sharing your stories and, just enlightening everybody and just embracing just your smiles, your stories, your journeys, and hope this helped everybody. And I know it will. So these are the co-authors of Becoming the Shero. The book is to be released 11 November 2020 on Veterans Day. Be looking out. You guys have a good day.
Thank you for listening to Heartfelt Leader Shifts, where Dr. Tracy Hines Lashley educates leaders on crucial shifts needed to lead from the heart. This is also a platform for professional coaches, entrepreneurs, and published authors. The strategies shared from Dr. Lashley and her guests empower, inspire, equip, and elevate leaders to thrive from their heart. To learn more about Dr. Lashley and her quest to educate and encourage more heartfelt leaders, go to her website at drtracylashley.info. You may also contact her by sending an email to info@drtracylashley.com. Remember to always intentionally walk in your purpose and strive to elevate to significance.